Yes, it's that time. Let's get straight into it. Ray Hadley's here from TGB. Great to see you, Ray. Andrew Webster joins us from the Daily Telegraph. Great to see you, Webby. Queenslander Gordy Tallis over to my right. And a fired-up New South Welshman, Freddie Fittler, joins us. He is fired up, let me tell you. And the big man in the cave. The decider, it's come and gone. Queensland win another one. What a great team, 7 in a row. Always some controversy comes out of these fixtures, so that's what we're going to talk about. 5 on the clock. Let's start ticking down. Ray, kick it off for us, mate.
The elephant in the room before we get to the real controversial matters.
Okay.
We match, I say we, New South Wales match Queensland all over the park, bar 6 and 7. Bar 6 and 7. They had Lockyer and Thurston, now they've got Thurston and Cronk.
Yes.
And our 6 and 7 aren't up to it, I'm afraid, and haven't been up to it all series. We go everywhere over the park and we can't match them there. No one's prepared to say it, but it's true. We just can't match them at 6 and 7. The other thing that concerned me last night relates to Nate Miles, and he's been doing it for a while, and I want to have a look at some vision of it. It's not the biggest deal in the world, but someone's got to stop letting him use his head as a fulcrum. See him here? He leans into the tackle on Farah. Here it is. Look at that. There's no attempt to tackle a man. Here it is again in slow-mo. Now, can someone tell me today, there's Farah reeling out of it, why Nate Miles wasn't on report after the game? Because it was a wonderful night of football, but that was a blight on the game.
Identified by New South Wales as well. Paul Gallen said in the Behind the Blue Wall, the show we started at 7 o'clock last night, that Nate Miles was a target for them last night. Now, it didn't pan out that way. He played a ripper of a game, but they've picked up on it.
I think the nature of the game most really took it away too. It was a pretty aggressive game. It started from, I think, the first set of 6 when Tate and they were in a bit of a scuffle. So I think anything that was, like, aggressive but wasn't blatant, which that sort of bordered on that blatant thing, but I think everything was pretty acceptable. I think that added to the
I hope
contest.
he's not doing that on purpose, and I hope it's a one-off or, you know what I mean, or it's
Well,
a
he did it 4 times last night, Gordon, and I know you're a man that hates the grapple tackle and the, you know, twisting legs and twisting necks. That's as bad. It's got to be stopped.
Well, he won the Wally Lewis medal, so he was absolutely outstanding for the whole series, so he doesn't need that in his game. He's got to get out, and if he's doing it on purpose, for one, I've had neck surgery, and he's only going to hurt himself. In the long term, using your head as a tackling ram is just not good for himself. So he's got to get it out of his game if he's doing it on purpose.
And he did it to New South Wales' most creative player, Robbie Farah.
Yeah, I don't think he could remember that first part of the game.
No.
Webby, there's something you want to talk about that has been on all the news tonight.
Well, there was a bit of an incident in the with half a minute to go when Big Dave Taylor's flipped the bird at Sydney Airport today. He said he was doing it to nobody. So usually when you flip the bird, you do it to someone. I don't know whether it was the New South Wales bench, the Queensland selectors, or the media. It could have been anyone. So he's apologised for it, but it was pretty funny.
I can live with the bird.
It looked like he was doing it.
No, I don't think I've been guilty of it. The bird belongs to another generation to me, Gordy. I'm not a bird sort of person.
So
but
did you give the forks?
Yeah, something like that. There was a bit of variation of it. That was my go in my younger days.
Freddie, your turn, mate.
Hang on.
Sorry, big man.
I've been giving you the bird behind your back for years.
You know what? Because I employ him, he won't do it. Will you do it to my face?
You betcha.
Come back, Ray.
Always Queensland. See, that's Dave Taylor's role model. That's Dave Taylor's role model.
He's going to be a big bloke when he's finished, Dave.
That was a big bird on national TV. Over to you, Freddie. I know you want to get something off your chest.
Well, then we'll talk about the other elephant, the Hodges try. And the ruling on Hodges' try. I think from the start I went to a meeting, we're going to go straight. Now, this Hodges coming across. When you get to this point of where Hodges is at the moment, he's engaged the defensive line. At the moment, Scott, Carney on the outside, Farah on the inside are all making decisions. From this point, I don't think you can go around the back of your player. Bo Scott holds there on Ben Hannett and then tries to change his mind and doesn't have enough time to catch the much faster Justin Hodges who gets around him. The next point I want to say is they didn't bring it up. When they stop it again, they impeded Todd Carney. Todd Carney also makes a defensive decision. Once Ben Hannett comes on the inside, he realises he can't get the ball, and he takes that space up between himself and Jonathan Thurston.
But Todd Carney shouldn't go up.
Mate, once Ben
Hannett goes in front of Justin
Hodges and Justin Hodges can't go around the back of him, which the referees have
But
said
isn't
that
the
he can
rule
go
on
behind.
depth, okay? Because with all those block plays, there's a lot of there's a lot of that play now, so it goes on depth. So then
But
my
that's the
opinion
pass,
is,
not the run. It's the pass.
You can't reward bad defensive reads.
Yeah, I reckon it's
That
a
wasn't a
read.
bad defence. No
Well, you
way.
can't-
Well,
But
Bo Scott actually was moving straight out the
Mate,
Justin, and he just didn't get it.
If you watch, he hung on his left foot for a couple of steps.
Because it was a great
holding on
decoy
Ben
runner.
Hannon. Mate, what we're doing, we're rewarding poor timing and poor execution. And then we're penalising Bo Scott because he didn't take a dive.
Freddie, were you in a meeting with regard to this?
I was in a meeting 2 years ago with Phil Gould, Brandy, Laurie Daly and Gary Freeman, where we got together and talked about this rule, the obstruction rule, because there was a lot of it going on once they started playing all that plays out the back. And we're talking about depth of pass, getting it on the inside of the bloke on the outside. And it came down to, and they put that new rule in the bottom of the obstruction rule now, so they give himself an out. So
You're talking about where it's at the discretion, if the video referee or referee thinks that would have been a try anyway.
they can say anything.
They can... Where's that from?
That's all right. That's fine.
that
Keep
Darren?
going. Keep
Yeah, I
going.
thought
This
it
is
was
a good chat.
Yeah,
Big
no.
man, I haven't forgotten you, mate. I know you've made a great comment with the bird, but you've got something else you want to say about it?
Well, no, just with regards to that try, I think it was a try every day of the week. It was a
way.
bad defensive read, and I think, in my opinion, I think the video ref did the right thing. You've got to use some common sense. No one was impeded then.
How can you
no
reward
one was impeded.
poor timing and poor execution
By the defensive
over
bloke.
Bo Scott? If Bo Scott holds on Ben Hannon
he made a poor
and
read.
takes a fall, no, he didn't. He was doing his best, mate. He had to tackle Ben Hannon on the inside
Because it's
and
a
then
great
fast to me
decoy
and
run.
Justin.
Maybe because it's a great decoy run. He
How's
runs
it a
away.
great
Just
decoy
hang on a
run when he
second.
runs around the back?
We've got a former New South Wales captain, two great Queenslanders here. I think, to be
Webby,
fair...
come on, mate.
I'm trying.
I think at best, in my opinion, it was a 50-50 call. And last night, I didn't think it was a try. Upon reflection today, I've looked at it quite a number of times, and I find it hard to argue against the try, because what we'd be doing if they'd taken the try away from them, we'd be sitting here with Gordon saying it should have been a try and Brad saying they made the right decision.
I think the
So-
reaction of Justin Hodges walking back too, he's sort of...
I'm a bit confused, though. The
Not-
Tri
wasn't
Origin
too
one
excited.
was down to the letter of the law. That was the argument. This has seemingly been about common sense.
No, this is
and
subjective.
And it sort of
Why does it
confuses
take-
me a bit.
But the thing is, you look at games every round and every weekend, and there'd be plenty of times where that's not given. There's no consistency at all from
Yeah,
the
but that's
video
because
refs or the referees at all.
Andrew, they're human beings.
I
And
can
Stephen
handle
But
human
they
Clemens
seem to
beings.
at
just
every
make it
match.
up. They just seem to make it up.
No,
they
it's
make
different.
Make it up as
Mate,
they go
you
along.
can't
If he was a
reward-
They've taken
video
all day
referee,
to
that'd
come
be a
up.
decision.
They've
If he
taken
was
all
a
day to
video
come up
referee-
with a justification from Bill Harrigan as to why
They're
it was
not
a try.
robots.
You've rewarded poor play and you've penalised a bloke who didn't take a dive.
You just want some consistency.
Yeah.
We're
Okay.
blowing the 5 minutes out of the water, and it was
15 minutes.
It's 15,
We
and
should
it
shut
needed
up
to be
up
fin-
there.
Now, very quickly, make